My name is David Phillips and I'm a co-founder of T.I.P, or Torbay Investigators of the Paranormal, to give it its full title. We're a group of paranormal investigators. We meet in the CHURSTON COURT Hotel on a weekly basis, apart from the second Monday of the month when we meet at Carrick Barton in Exeter, where we have another contingency that come to our meetings.
Hi, my name is Chris Hodson. I recently purchased CHURSTON COURT in October the 10th last year, and we saw the property a few years ago, and we liked the property. It came up for sale and lease purchase, and we basically fell in love with the place, and we just wanted to have this property here and hopefully turn it around and make something of it. So there's a few little quirky bits with this property that comes along, occasionally. So one of the two stories I'll tell you along the way as we walk around the property.
I've been doing this now for 21 years. I set it up with two friends, Adrian Lodge and Dave Brown, and it began as a lads' night out, going down the pub for a drink and a game of pool and a game of darts. But in between our games, we found that all our conversations turned to the paranormal, or the weird and wonderful stuff that we were hearing about. And then after a while, we decided that it would be nice if we had other people come to join us. So I put an advert in the Herald Express, because as a result of that, a lot of other people started to join us on a weekly basis, and we really sort of took off. And over the years, people sort of come and go. But the best thing about it is that they come and meet us and they share their stories. Most people that join us have had an experience that they can't explain, whether it's at home or elsewhere, and they'd like to come and meet like-minded people that aren't going to make fun of them, and we just like to listen and try and explain what they've experienced. We started off being quite technical and scientific about it all. We've got equipment that we use to record visuals and what have you. But after a while we got to meet a lot of people that were quite sensitive in their own right, and they were able to communicate with spirit, and they started joining us on investigations. And now, rather than using a lot of equipment, we now just use mediums.
Hi, my name's Sarah and I've been a member of T.I.P for about 12 years. I'm one of the mediumship team, so basically I'm sensitive, so I pick things up when we're at vigils. I think one of the things that I remember mostly is when we did the CHURSTON COURT recently, and I tend to doodle a bit, and I drew a picture of a gentleman, got the feeling that he was French, around about Napoleonic times. And after actually we stopped filming, on the wall there's a very, very tiny picture of what looks like the chap that I drew, all in the same sort of uniform, and my history isn't that great, so it just gave me that evidence to know that that's actually what I was seeing.
There's an interesting photograph that I've got in my collection that was given to us a number of years ago now by a gentleman who was living locally, but he'd gone on a day trip to Orr Church up on Exmoor. For those of you who don't know Orr Church, it's where Lorna Doone was set, and it's the church that she gets shot at on her wedding day. And when the gentleman concerned went to the church to take some photographs, he made sure that there was no one inside, because all the photos he ever took were always either of landscapes or interiors. He never had people in them. So when his picture was developed, it was a little bit miffed to find a group of people sitting in the corner looking out of what is known as the carver window, which is the window through which Lorna Doone is actually shot at on her wedding day. But these people weren't there when he took his picture. Don't know why, but it makes a damn good picture, and that's something I'm quite proud of to have in my collection.
We were talking about previous paranormal experiences which happened to me at the age of 3 in the Channel Islands, and I actually saw a coach and 6 horses back then, and I was asked by people that were with me, who were looking after me at the time, was my auntie Sylvia, and she said to me that, she said, "What did you see?" So I drew a picture, and that's exactly what they told me was what they saw as well. So that's the thing. And so more recently, now back to CHURSTON Court, I recently saw a dress in the alleyway or hallway down there, a swish, so to speak, of a dress going up to and then returning back to wherever she came from or whatever. But that's what I saw.
On another occasion, one of the night porters doing his rounds came across a gentleman wearing a gamekeeper's outfit in one of the top corridors. As he walked past him, they acknowledged each other. Then the night porter thought, "Hang on, you're not supposed to be here." And as he turned round to try and approach the gentleman, he found himself in an empty corridor.
One of my recent paranormal experiences was when I was talking about opening the fireplace to create a more private dining experience for our guests, where they could take drinks, cocktails, etc., and then possibly coffee afterwards. As we were saying about opening the fireplace, the copper dish down here literally rolled onto the floor, and at which time over there, that's where we were standing, there was 5 of us to actually witness this.
On Midsummer's Eve 1999, we were having our meeting, sitting around this very table, but in those days it was positioned in the armoury room by the fireplace. As we were sitting around, just talking amongst ourselves, suddenly we heard this little bell tinkling in the room behind us, but there was no one else there. We thought it was a bit odd, carried on talking, then it happened again, right in the room with us, behind people sitting at the table. Still, we didn't have any idea what it was. Then a third time it rang right beside us, and we thought, hang on, there's someone messing around here. So I got up to investigate, because in those days you could walk right the way around through the rooms to come out in the room we were sat in. And as I got up, something hit the table so hard it felt like it was going to split in two. To this day, we've no idea what it was.
With all these paranormal experiences happening around CHURSTON Court, the team and I have decided to hold a nighttime investigation. Using night vision cameras, we aim to capture evidence of the paranormal.
I didn't realise you'd gone round.
Yeah, we chill out now.
Right, move the chair.
Ooh, yes, lovely orb there. Oh, yes.
Right.
Smile around.
Let's know
Yes.
that you're here.
Can you see something from over there?
Yeah, we just saw an orb come down from the table and go into the fireplace.
He said it was behind us, didn't he?
Right. Oh.
Let's know that you're here. Knock on the table. Move a chair.
I'm gonna place something really hot. Just seen something by Emma.
I
By
saw
your pale
something.
face.
I saw something. Are you Emma?
Yeah.
Right, I saw a light behind you. But it very
It
similar
could be a
to...
camera light.
Yeah, could be.
Did we just capture a voice? Listen very carefully, as we believe the voice is saying hi, and with no one in the area with that vocal tone, it is possible that this could be paranormal.
Yeah, could be.
Whether this is paranormal or not, we'll leave it down to you.
Is there anyone here? Show yourself. Move something. Move a chair.
With no other voices or orbs coming through for the duration of this investigation, it was now time to bring the second group in ready to investigate. This group were to do this in silence and hope to pick up more activity. Again, no paranormal activity occurs. That is until we capture this strange light anomaly. Watch as the light anomaly enters frame bottom right, heads straight up, takes a sharp turn and leaves frame top right. What's surprising is that Monica at this point seems to pick up on the orb, or at least something, as she points in the direction the orb travelled. No further activity occurs throughout the investigation, and with the nighttime investigation drawing to a close, it was now time to wrap up and discuss tonight's findings.
During the course of the investigation that we carried out at CHURSTON COURT, we had two distinct different sections. We had a group of people sat around that were talking a bit more than we normally would, and we didn't get sort of much else, perhaps one orb. Then in the second section, where people were a bit more quiet, we had several orbs appearing on screen. Now orbs, some people take it as a form of spirit manifestation. It could be dust or it could be insects, we're not sure, but when you get moving orbs then they are a bit more of interest. But the most interesting thing was that a voice that was captured, a distant hello, is on both a recorder and a camcorder. Unfortunately mine was turned off at the time, so I didn't pick it up. There were no other females present apart from a barmaid as well as the members of the group, and it doesn't sound like any of them, so it might well be something of interest. We've also got a sketch that Sarah drew, which looks like a figure wearing Napoleonic costume, which isn't too far from historical possibility, because just up the road you've got Berry Head, which was a Napoleonic fort, and during the Napoleonic War, prisoners of war were actually brought across to the country and taken to Dartmoor, where they actually built Dartmoor Prison. So it is feasible that French soldiers of that period would be in the area. So definitely an interesting project to carry out, and hopefully we'll have something to look at in the future.